I had an idea. What if I could turn a landing page into music? It all started with a tweet. I asked people to send me their landing pages and I would turn them into techno. None of the melodies you're gonna hear were created by a human. It's not like one of the Suno AI generated tracks. I am not a fan of those. It's more like a sampling technique from visual content. Let me explain. A landing page has visual information. Let's say this is your hero section, and if you were to draw vertical lines along the web page from left to right, you can treat that as the time aspect of a melody. And in order to get an actual note, you sample the visual information along those lines. Now this can then get converted into a MIDI note, because a MIDI is just a simple number from 0 to 128. And this is how we can turn any landing page, such as this one from Nux, which is an open source project, into a track like this. Now, I tried a few different techniques, and one of the core ideas with techno music is that sometimes there are notes that are off, which means that they're outside of the regular scale. My script generates the MIDI for the melody, and it had two different variants. One which is in this so-called techno scale, and the other in a more regular melodic minor kind of scale. However, for whatever reason, I don't really know why, the minor melody often sounded a bit too upbeat. I think you can hear it here. This to me sounds a little bit upbeat, so that's why for most of these songs I stuck around with the darker techno-y kind of track, like this. And essentially what's happening here is I use a library called Screenshot1, which is essentially a developer tool to take screenshots of pages. And after this, the screenshot runs through the script and produces a MIDI melody. After that, I put it into Ableton Live, which is a music production program, and I add a bunch of samples, a bunch of synth sounds to make it all sound good and produce a finished track. So the first one I'm going to show you is this one from Shipper Club. If you don't know Shipper Club, it's made by this guy called OrgDev. You should definitely join because it's an awesome community of builders. So shout out to Shipper Club. And because everything that OrgDev does is Orc themed and Warcraft themed, I just had to include a bunch of samples from the game, like this one. I can do that. Now, an interesting problem that you will see is because it's all based around the visual information, landing pages that kind of look similar, like these darker toned UIs, they ended up producing very similar melodies. So I had to tweak the script a little bit in order to generate more varied melodies, but at the end of the day, I managed to create the more diverse melodies. So the next one I'm going to show you is from this app called Dailygram. This one, it had a really weird kind of vibe, which I kept going back and forth on, but this is just what it ended up being. It's got a very dissonant feel. I'm gonna quickly run through some of the other ones that were really hard hitting. Take this one for example, it's a hard techno track for sure. And another hard techno banger. Oh, and check out this one from a website called lsd.meme. It had a very appropriate hard techno vibe. And the last one I'm going to show you is Starwind UI. This was my favorite of the bunch, and it's the one I started the video with, just because it gives me a very sort of 2012 EDM banger kind of vibes. So here it is. Cool, that's all for today. I'm gonna be doing more weird experiments like this one. If you stuck around this long, thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.